Well, hello everybody. Good afternoon or evening, wherever you might be. My name is Latashia Redhouse. I am the IAC's American Indian Foods Program Director.
Hi, and I'm Courtney Fischer. I'm the American Indian Foods Assistant Director.
And our special guest today is, and we won't introduce her because she's too awesome, so she can introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Elena Terry. I am the Food and Culinary Program Coordinator for the Native American Food Sovereignty Alliance, and I also work in partnerships with the Intertribal Agriculture Council.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know if for those of you that might have been trying to tune in earlier during our live stream, we just had a little bit of a tech issue, but we are stronger than ever right now. But Elena, we wanted to talk about the Intertribal Food Summit, and I know in years past you got to participate. I'm really sad that this year this would have been my first experience. But what is the Intertribal Food Summit? If you can share that to those that have never participated or are interested in learning more.
So the Intertribal Food Summit is a place where we can get together and we share knowledge, we share meals. There's different tracks that you can go on. So I am part of the culinary track. I started off a couple years ago. I went to Meskwaki and I applied for the chef mentorship program through the Native American Food Sovereignty Alliance. And at that time it was the pilot program. So they were just thinking that this would be a good idea to pair chefs up in a mentorship setting and see how it turned out. Well, after I went there, I ended up following by going to the East Coast Intertribal Food Summit, and that was in Mashantucket. And then I went to Taos for the Southwest Intertribal Food Summit. And through the evolution and being able to work with so many great chefs, I really wanted to advocate and to show my support for the chef mentorship program. So the following year, I worked with Intertribal Agriculture Council, and I was the kitchen coordinator for the Pokagon Great Lakes Intertribal Food Summit last April. And in that year, we had over 77 chefs, I believe, that came to participate in the program. And it was just such an amazing opportunity and a wonderful way to connect with each other that NAFSA decided to dedicate some resources to the program and solidify it. So I am now the coordinator. And in this mentorship program, just the way that it has evolved and the way that we've been able to build such a wonderful community around food. And as chefs, it was kind of, we were all working independently. And over the past few years, we have been able to make these connections that are just wonderful. It's more than friendship or a mentorship. It's becoming family and sharing knowledge and resources. And it's just a great community to be involved with.
That is really cool. And along with the Intertribal Food Summit, how does that connect to NAFSA's Indigenous Chop Challenge that you guys are hosting?
So we wanted to find a way to have the chefs have a space that was positive, where they could be creative and receive support and still feel connected. And how could we create that space while supporting what was going on with the growers, the producers, this wonderful movement that the seed savers were able to start up and get seeds into the community. As chefs, we have kind of this last voice for the ingredients, and we get to present it in a way that can be appreciated. And right now, our voices kind of need to be going towards advocating for the growers and the producers to make sure that that work gets done in a positive way for our communities right now. So we wanted to make sure to get the space there, to have the chefs be able to showcase some of the work they're doing and connect with each other, and then also to get some of our mentors out there, and so some of the Indigenous chefs can see who it is that is, in this program and has been dedicated to supporting what's going on in their communities. So each week for the Indigenous Chop Challenge, we'll have one of the chef mentors pose a challenge. The first week was Chef Brian Yazzie from Minneapolis, and he had some of his crew there that's doing some amazing work with volunteering in the community, feeding the elders. And they hosted the first challenge, which was salad. with squash and a grain and a homemade vinaigrette. And we had a great turnout. Excuse me. So then last week was Chef Sean Sherman, and he brought in a couple of the ethnobotanists, Latashia Hart and Linda Blackoutfer as judges, and they had a wild food and decolonize challenge, which was even better turnout and some incredible dishes. I was, looking up all these profiles and checking out the people who submitted. It was just an amazing way to see what people are doing in the community. So in leading up to the virtual Intertribal Food Summit, we were thinking, how can we have a way to fairly offer webinar opportunities to the community, which is just growing daily. And one of the things we decided was to use the winners for the Indigenous Chop Challenge. The weekly winners will be offered a webinar spot for the virtual Intertribal Food Summit. So the winners that you see are selected. You'll be able to see a little bit more about the work that they're doing leading up to the Food Summit, and hopefully we'll be able to have some discussions so you can meet them and hear about the things that they're doing in their community when it comes to Indigenous food systems.
Wonderful. I mean, this week is, I think, something to do with dessert, which is really exciting. And I think Tanya Brown, is she like a pastry extraordinaire? I think she has like a pastry background.
Yes. And she paired up with one of our mentors, Chef Loretta Barrett Oden. And she is one of the founding board members of the Native American Food Sovereignty Alliance, and just an incredible chef. She was one of the reasons why I applied to be in the program to begin with. And she definitely was the reason that I went to the Southwest Intertribal Food Summit in Taos, because being able to work with her has just been so influential. And, it's wonderful because with our chef mentorship program, all the mentors have a uniquely different sense of looking at the same goal, and being able to connect all of those different visions that are really unified and stand in solidarity. We're able to reach so many more people and so many more Indigenous chefs in the community, because all of us are relatable to somebody, and building that connection and that relationship, it really is the way that we used to learn from each other. So it's a wonderful way to do it. And Tanya and Loretta had built that relationship as well, and I've loved watching it blossom as this program has evolved. And so they paired up to do the Savory to Sweet Challenge this week, which is going to be a dessert utilizing an ingredient that you normally would think is savory, like squash or corn, and turning it into a sweet dessert.
How do we sign up to be like taste testers?
As soon as I figure it out, I'll let you know. I'm working on that. There have already been submissions since the launch of the new challenge this week, and I'm just blown away by the work that people are doing. I love seeing it, and it's really inspiring to be able to see the creativity and the thought and the intention behind these dishes. It's beautiful to witness. I love being involved in it.
Yeah, that's definitely amazing. I can't imagine being a judge for this challenge right now. I bet that there are a ton of amazing people making dishes right now. And I guess speaking on that, for people that are wanting to participate in the challenge, do you have to have any type of culinary background in order to participate?
No, not at all. It's open to anybody that wants to put some of what they're doing out there, and all levels of expertise have been in the submissions. And like I said, I have even watched somebody in the past 2 weeks just grow. I can't wait to see what they're going to be submitting this week. And it's just neat to be able to see too some of the ingredients, like in the different regions. Last week with a wild component, seeing where people were foraging and them including that in the video, it was awesome that they're able to go out, from the woods to the desert and find these unique ingredients and showcase them in these amazing ways.
Yes, and I feel like being on the producer end and just seeing again this because with the American Indian Foods Program, we help, and the IAC TA program, our services is to help these producers, agribusinesses, agripreneurs launch and enter more of like a domestic market, or launch and share their story. So it's really, really amazing that we could network and partner with NAFSA to bring another level of exposure to several of these agripreneurs or agribusinesses that are all tribally owned and hold like our made and produced by American Indian trademark, which is a really big thing, because again, when you kind of think of all of the traditional stories that go into how to harvest these really amazing products, it could be rice or squash, or I mean, we have popcorn and kombucha. I mean, it's such a really great, it's just an interesting time, like just seeing all of these product coming out of Indian country, and it just makes me so proud that we could add this next level with these partnerships with the chefs, and we could create this beautiful plating. Just the scenery, I guess it's just so beautiful.
Absolutely. And that was one of the intents that we had in creating the challenge too. So the weekly winners will be receiving a producer prize box from Intertribal Agriculture Council, and I believe it's being shipped out from the Mobile Farmers Market and the Native Food Network in Dane County, where I'm close to. And we wanted to make sure to highlight the work that the producers are doing and give them the economic support and, you know, the social support that is necessary right now. I mean, we are doing this food summit virtually because we do need a way to connect with each other, and we are in a time where we're facing, you know, a lot of failure in our food systems. So what can we do as Indigenous people to make sure that we will succeed, that our people will be fed in a way that's nurturing, not only to their body, but for their spirit? You know, we have a connection to each other that's unique, and to be able to share a meal is a huge honor. So to be able to provide some of that product to the winners, to be able to support the producers and the growers, it just seemed like the right thing to be able to do, and to do it in a fun way.
Right, yeah, and what we're really excited about is, again, we would love to stuff all of the products from each of the producers into one, like every single box, and just ship them off so everyone can experience this amazing, just have that experience. I know every time I get a shipment of rice or Ramona tepiary beans, I'm super stoked, because I know that I should be feeling good after my dinner. But yeah, along with the box, or the food box, that's going to each of the weekly winners that you select from each of those Indigenous Chop Challenge. Can you tell us more about like what other benefits are after they receive the box and they are announced the winner?
Sure. So we do have a cash prize as well for them, because we know that it does take a lot of effort and energy, and we did want to just help support financially as well. But this producer box will be going out and providing product, and it will be diverse in what we're able to supply to each weekly winner, but they will be able to have those products to use for their webinar if they'd like, whatever they'd like to do. We have a bunch of different topics that have been suggested from different communities on things that they would like to see the chefs present on, and that was something that we were working on even prior to COVID hitting our communities. And so we wanted to make sure that some of those webinars were still addressed, but that we're also introducing these wonderful new things, because when you bring in new people from different communities, all this knowledge comes in with them, and so we want to offer that as well. So the producer boxes will be going out and providing product for them to use for their webinar for the virtual Intertribal Food Summit. So we'll be able to see how to utilize some of these ingredients that are available from our Indigenous producers, and we wanted to make sure that that information was out there as well for the consumers and the public that might want to access that on different levels. So I know that Intertribal Agriculture Council has those resources available on your website. And we have been trying to get that information out there as well to make sure that people are utilizing the Indigenous producers, growers, and just supporting the efforts that are going on in our own communities right now.
And you are also able to find a list of our producers on our producer directory on our American Indian Foods website as well.
Yeah, so call to action to all of you aspiring chefs or foodies, because I feel like I'm a foodie, even though like I can only make tortillas Navajo way.
I bet they're delicious though.
Yes, they are. They are amazing, and I know my kids love it. And that's the thing about food is like I think anyone anywhere can just relate that to the comfort and just the feel good aspect of food. So we're really excited to partner with you all, and if anyone is interested in any native producers, they can find any of those ingredients or producer information listed on our website. Or if they're interested in sourcing a certain specific product and you don't want to sift through the entire internet or the entire website, totally feel free to reach out to any of us. I think Elena is totally familiar with our website as well, and she could always reach out to us. So, but yeah, I think this is going to be exciting. The Intertribal Food Summit is going to be held June 20th. And that one is we're working again in partnership with NAFSA and creating some great content and working with some amazing, knowledgeable people in the world of traditional foods or even just the culinary aspect of things. And I think that I'm really sad that I don't get to be there in person because everything sounds from what at least the story is being told, sounds like it's just a wonderful experience. So I'm sad that, but again, happy because we're able to meet in a virtual space in this way. So if you are interested in learning more, I don't remember the website for the Intertribal Food Summit, but again, it's posted on their Facebook page, and NAFSA and IAC will be sharing more information as they come as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is amazing because, like I said, I am one small part. I do get to be involved with the traditional foods part of it, but I am the culinary aspect and just am coordinating the webinars. But I mean, I have heard of some of the other presenters in the other tracks when it comes to seed saving and farming, and even the ranchers being incorporated. I mean, some of the things that we're facing, as a whole community when it comes to food shortages. I'm really looking forward to hearing what the other facets have to say and the contributions that they're making, and how can we support each other in being successful and really redefining the narrative when it comes to our food systems. And it's a great first step forward in connecting on a level that we haven't necessarily had to use before, but we have to now. It kind of expands our network a little bit though, and so we can look at it in a positive light and being able to reach some that might not have been able to be physically there in previous summits that would like to participate now. And those connections, we were talking before about favorite ingredients, in a previous conversation, and it's just those memories and those good feelings and the intentions that come with them. It is all so positive, and there are so many different ways to look at it and to receive it, and the things that you are able to create because of our food. I mean, you can really cause emotion and bring that stuff back. So it's just a beautiful thing to be involved in. If you've never participated, or if you've heard about it or you're curious about it, I definitely say check it out and see some of the things, even if you just want to see what's going on when it comes to food sovereignty. Definitely stop in and check it out on June 20th and get a better view, or open to questions and feel included and participate in a good way.
Yes, definitely. And I think a lot more they would be able to interact too with the chefs and also those that are presenting. So yeah, just reach out if you have any questions or are interested in figuring out how to participate in the Indigenous Chop Challenge. I know I'm going to try this savory dessert. I don't know. Is there a participation award?
You could do like a tortilla cake.
Ah, yes, totally. Or chocolate, chocolate covered tortilla. I get it. I got it.
Yeah. I'm down.
Yes, totally. Well, I think that covers it. I mean, I don't know if you have any other questions, Courtney, but I'm so glad we were able to connect this way, and I look forward to our continued partnership.
Yes, likewise.
Yeah,
Thank you.
No questions from me either. And definitely, yes, thank you, Elena, for joining us today.
Of course. And thank you to everybody for all the work that's being done, and ladies for all the planning that it takes to go the behind the scenes to execute something like this. You know, it's definitely appreciated. So thank you for the work that you're doing as well.
Yes, thank you. We will see you tomorrow. I think we have a meeting.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye.